Hi, friends. It's Friday, I think, probably. I've got water. I've got tea. I've got really cool people in today's stream already. I love it. Takara is here. Hello. Sarah is here. Lynette is here. Hello. Numberless Dreams. Another book lover. Tania, Alex. Hello. Hi. Tim is here. Oh, wonderful. Ducky is here. Hello. Welcome back. Davis, Forsaken Fallen, hello. Hey, Transcaster Radio's here. I've missed you. Stephanie is here. Drayton is here. Hello. Hello. oh, Terry is here. Hello. Carmen, Marissa, Augie. Hi. I like to make sure that I see everyone who's here. I also see let's see, another book lover and Numberless Dreams are talking about not being as productive as they'd like to be, hoping to make up for it this evening. Another book lover says, I tried to write this morning, but I couldn't get into it, hoping it will come more easily tonight. Yes. Yeah, please know that we all have days like that. We all have writing sessions like that. We all have... Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I'm like reading. Oh, Stephanie, it's your first time in Twitch. Monica is here. Hello, Monica. Yes, Patreon has some new updates, which you can read all about. I'm not going to rehash them here, but I guess just a fun fact. Oh my gosh, congratulations, Drayton. You have a new grandson? Oh, I love tiny babies. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, and you're here? That's amazing. Okay, wait. So you have a new grandson and you're working on your work in progress? Share your secrets with us. Oh, that's incredible. Congratulations. Wow. Yes. Over in Twitch here, Augie's kind of giving a rundown of what's going on with Patreon. So if you... Oh, Skit's here. Hey, Skit. If you are a user of Patreon, whether you donate via Patreon or whether you support your livelihood via Patreon, which I do, you're going to want to read about those changes and communicate with your audience a little bit. A lot, just let them know what's going on. People are generally okay with things as long as you communicate clearly with them and kind of just let them know what's up. There's also the option of there's still really not a really good replacement. Ko-fi or Coffee or ko-fi is okay. Yeah, and don't worry about being upset about it. That's okay. Like, we're here to exist as creators, and the platforms by which we make money and make our living are very important. So, oh no, you can't see your grandson except on Zoom. Oh. Tiny babies. Still cute on Zoom, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, Alex, there wasn't at least as far as I'm aware, I did not receive an email. I just saw it after Augie linked to it on Twitter. Yes. So, yeah. It's actually, we've been talking about it over, I don't know if it's on the Discord for our Writers Mastermind. Yes. If you go into our Writers Mastermind Discord to the Not Writing channel, that's where you'll kind of, you'll find some more information about it and links to the tweets that we're talking about. Oh, Sarah, yours still is not loaded. Try refreshing, perhaps. Yeah. I need you all to let me know, like, if and when my stream's not working. So yes, Augie is linked it here. It's also over on the Discord. Allie is here. Hello, Allie. We're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about how it's been difficult maybe for some people to write today, and how they're hoping that this evening session provides some relief. Drayton has a new tiny baby grandson, and Patreon is being difficult again. So that's kind of a quick catch up on where we are. And the link in Discord. Oh, what is the Discord link? That's a really good question. Tim, well, let's see. I'm wondering, Tim, I'm going to give you a link here real quick. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Copy. Tim, I'm sending you a link here. Can you post this into Twitch, please? Here we go. Yay, yes, new baby. Thank you, Tim. Those of you who'd like to join our Discord, we are here. Yeah, it's a good place to be. Talk about writing, other stuff. Yeah. Oh man, you made some really good vegan chocolate chip cookies, so today isn't all bad. Sometimes you just have to redeem your day with some baked goods. I understand that. So I've been sick for the last 2 days, and I'm actually like wearing, you might notice that I'm looking not super professional. My hair is kind of just doing its own like bowl cut thing. I've got like a hoodie with cat hair on it. I am wearing my Giannis Descending t-shirt, which I love. I don't know if you've listened to Jordan Cobb's wonderful show. Giannis Descending is fantastic, but it's like so comfy. This is like my comfort outfit. Yesterday, I tried to like push through the pain and just realized that I was sick and I just had to deal with that. And so all today, wonderful Tim, my partner Tim, has been like, oh, Sarah, can I make you some tea? Just bringing me food, making sure I'm comfortable. It's just, I was saying that, when I was living alone, like decades ago, it really sucks to be sick and alone and just knowing you have to drag yourself to the doctor. And yeah, I don't know. So Tim, I'm really grateful for you. I started feeling better earlier this afternoon, but I think I'm still not 100%. Like my energy is not 100% back yet. So if I seem a little lackluster tonight, that's why. That's why. Oh, yes. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better. I'm just like tired. It's just like that my body's been like fighting off grossness, and so you just kind of get that like tiredness feeling. And I've got like this like awesome cowlick thing that we're just gonna exist. So what are you all working on? What do you have? I know a few of you have been talking about like it's been hard to write today. What have you been working on? I would love. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's here. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy says I'm glad you're better. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Let's see. We've got, really happy with your creativity this week. I finished up the rough draft of my first podcast episode. Awesome. I've been crafting up a storm. It's been like a creative high for me. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm going to do like little raised hands emoji. Oh, that's such a great feeling. That creative high, that rush, that feeling of, being on essentially like a bus with no brakes in the best kind of way. Davis, you're applying for jobs. I love it. I hope that's going well. Jordan just recommended the book to me. I think it's called So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. And it's made me like think of you and your job search. So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. And it talks about why we love our work and more often why we don't love our work and what it means, why society pressures us to do what we love. I'm only about a third of the way through it, but it's so good so far. So like, I guess tonight is very inspired by Jordan. I've got my Giannis Descending shirt. I'm recommending this book that she recommended to me. Oh, Lynette says, can you show us your cup, please? Yes. So there's a little comedy podcast called Swiss and Lolly Hijack Hollywood. And I'm a character in it. So I have this like cute little thing. So Raul Vega creates the podcast and sent me this mug just as a little thank you for being in the show. And it's just like, how sweet is that? So I'm I'm not a character, I'm a narrator, sort of like in Desperate Housewives, there's that narrator, who just kind of snarkily says things. So like, that's me, I'm the narrator in Swiss and Lolly, and it's just really fun. Charlie is working on catching all the Pokemon. Yes. Oh my gosh, Calix, the struggle is real. I've tried like fringe bangs, the kind that like are like this and then they're cut here. And I just, yeah. If I don't have it swept to the side, it will like stick straight up. It's magic. It's magic. Oh, thank you. Takara says, get better. Thank you. Oh, heck, Augie. Episode 3 of your audio drama is finished and you started episode 4 last night. Yes. 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 Another book lover says, since I couldn't get into my story, I tried to figure out what happens next. I'm usually a discovery writer, but I felt the need for a firmer direction on this one. Another book lover, I totally understand that. That's been me throughout the entirety of season 2 of Girl in Space. It has been, I have needed direction because if I don't have it, I make missteps and then I end up writing 10 pages and then deleting those 10 pages because they're taking the story in the wrong direction. So I totally understand needing a firmer direction. And I'm finding that I'm still able to discover throughout the process because I'm not following like a very strict outline. I'm just following like, oh, okay, episode, this episode, I want like something here to happen and I want to end it here on this cliffhanger. And so like that gives me the guidance I need. So I totally get that. Hey, Timothy's here. I'm glad you're here. Alex says I'm in the last section of my time travel story and I want to try to get it finished today or this weekend. Alex, I believe in you so much. You've got this. Forsaken Fallen says, I've been getting up early and getting some writing done, so I was able to salvage some creativity. And thanks to video games, I was able to solve a huge problem I've been having with the story. I love it. Was it like muscle memory playing like a Mario game? Like you're just kind of like, doing the muscle memory thing and you just had an idea? Or was it like a really good story in a video game and it inspired you? Wow, Lynette says, I've written over 1,000 words in the last 2 days after not being able to write for over a week. Yeah, sometimes those floodgates, and sometimes it feels like we have no control over those floodgates. And then they open and then you're like, oh boy, I can't stop. Good. Are you going to write more tonight, I guess is the question. I don't know what this is. Marissa is currently making a tandy cake. Not sure if it's regional dessert, but either way, it's delicious. It has cake in it, so I think that sounds amazing. Jimmy says, deep breath. I wrote and posted, 3 stories? 3 stories, plus the prompt post for the I Am a Writer group, plus I live streamed some Stardew Valley last night, plus a productive workday. Plus a friend dumped me, but that's okay. I wish everything could be good. I'm sorry that you got dumped by a friend. I know that hurts. Gosh, but all the other stuff is so good. I'm so excited for everything that you're doing, Jimmy. And I'm sorry about the friend dumping. Yeah. I don't have much to say in way of consolation, because I feel like anything I could say would be like a platitude, and I feel like that's not helpful. But just know that I understand. I have been dumped by friends, and sometimes they tell you that that's happening, and sometimes they ghost you, and you just never hear from them again, and you get no reason as to why they don't want to be friends anymore. You're just left there. So yeah, that hurts, and I'm sorry. Stephanie says, I'm editing a friend's website copy, and I hope to write a 650-word article tonight. That is a goal. Love it. Yes, Takara, you are on that last chapter. Oh my gosh. And then you start your superhero book, and I'm so excited about that. You're just on a roll. You're on a roll, and I love to see it. I love to see it, Takara. Ooh, Drayton says, I took Sarah's advice about doing something with my email list. So I started a newsletter this month. 1,400 on the subscriber list spawned from, I can't talk today. 1,400 on the subscriber list spawned from my Funny Science Fiction Facebook group members. Perfect. 1,400 is huge. And you know, a lot of people get frustrated with like open rates and stuff like that. But if you're getting 1 to 2% open rates, you're doing better than most people. So my next challenge is to make sure that in each of your newsletters, you have a call to action, a CTA, call to action, that is somehow related to what success means for you and either your work or your podcast or whatever the newsletter is in relation to. So yes. Heck yes. Allie says, I finished editing a script last night, and I went from about 18-ish pages to around 30. That's exciting. Have you found that for you, it's about a minute per page? Because I'm just going to assume this is for an audio drama. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Another book lover says, my outline is about 200 words of what happens next and a very brief answer. And again and again. Yes. Yes. Me too. Yep. Just what's the next thing that happens. And sometimes I'll put a little context about like, this is happening because this person or this character or this entity wants this or needs this. I always like to make sure that I'm really, really clear about the motives behind why people are doing things, just to make sure that it stays like character driven. But I love that. I love that. Poxy, hi. Oh, the gang's all here. Yeah, Jimmy says it's possible to write a CTA in your newsletter and not even know that you did it. Yeah, Jimmy's been like, hey, give me feedback. And I'm like, Jimmy, that's your call to action. So be careful with what you can ask people for one thing. Well, you can ask people for many things, but it's advised. And I'm using passive voice there because I'm the person advising it. And I don't want you to be like, oh, Sarah's telling me what to do. But generally, I advise just one call to action per thing. So at the end of a podcast episode, you can say like, hey, come join my Facebook group, or hey, come join my Wednesday night live streams, or hey, come join my Discord, or hey, follow me on Twitter, or hey, leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. But like if you ask for all of those things, people are going to get overwhelmed. And so usually you want to just ask for like the one big thing that will make a difference and really, I'm going to say move the needle. I know it's like jargony, but it's going to really move the needle for you as a creative entrepreneur, as a creative professional. Yes. Finished watching Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. I've heard good things. I have had people recommend this to me. I have not watched it yet because, oh gosh. Well, that's a whole nother topic, is like why I have not been watching anything lately. But Davis says 1 minute per page never feels true. Yeah, it is more of like an average thing. Like some of my pages go by, like they'll be exactly a minute, or a page will go by with lots of quick dialogue and it's like 20 seconds. But then the next page is like insert 3 minutes of silence, or, you know, transition. And my transition's 30 seconds or something like that. So I need cookies. Isn't that the mood? Isn't that the mood? Oh, oh gosh. Okay, let's see. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, yeah, you're doing great. 15% open rate. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Like in general, it's like 1 to 3%, like in a 0.1% click-through rate. If you have like, oh, buy my book is your call to action, or like something that people can click and you can track your clicks through your email platform. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. like if you have a really dedicated following, you might get up to like, I don't know, 8% open rate or whatever, 15%. It's good. Marissa says, I received the first chapter for my translation work. It will be a bit of a challenge to translate well, as I don't know anything past the chapter that I receive. Ooh, yeah, and context is everything. Are they giving you a little bit of like a time budget to say like, oh, I'm going to translate this as well as I can, with the caveat that like later on I might need to go back and like shift things around, like as I learn more about the context. I'm hoping that is built into what you're working with. Woo, Timothy says, I'm trying to see if I can add more sense information to my audio drama. It's hard to do naturally. Ooh, more sense information. Are you doing that through sound design? Are you doing that through the script? I would be very, very curious about that. Allie says, tonight, hopefully I'm meeting with the writer of that episode so we can get it all good to go. But I don't know where they are, so I'm hanging out with y'all. Okay. Oh, I hope they show up, Allie. Well, and if not, I'm happy that you're here hanging out with us. Ooh, Takara, 8 new followers in 2 days. Heck yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. Lynette says, I have a question. Why have an author's page on Facebook and what do you post on it? This is a difficult and ever-changing question. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I would have said like, oh yeah, it's a great idea to have an author page. Basically what I advise is claiming your page on Facebook, because that can be the genesis for your sales funnel later on. And also, it just lets you claim your name, and then you can direct people wherever else from your page, but it's a good idea to have it or to claim it. However, so like later on, if you wanted to do any Facebook ads, you would do them from your author page, and you would set up your author page as a business page. And that would be how you would do and control your ads. And that would be where all your ads came from. Now, Facebook's algorithm has changed so much that it's almost not, and it depends what you want to get out of it. It's almost not worth having an author's page anymore if the reason that you want to have an author's page is to build a following and to disseminate information to the people following your page. Okay? Facebook has made such a radical shift to live video and groups that they're really no longer channeling people toward and featuring content from author pages in people's feeds, even if people are subscribed to or following that author or that business. And it's so hard to talk about. And I know like some people who are already big in their Facebook pages and they get a regular audience, like that's fine. They don't have to worry about it. But if you're just starting out, you can claim your page, but I would really, really focus on building your following on a website that you own. So like I know Takara is using her Facebook author page kind of like as a website, and that's something you can do. But I would recommend having a website that you own, even if it's just one page, that will not like go out of style or not get traffic when Facebook doesn't want to send it traffic anymore. So I hope that makes sense. I know that like 9 billion comments came in. while I was talking about Facebook pages. So I hope that that was helpful for some of you. And maybe some of you have had experiences that are different where your business Facebook page or your author Facebook page has been very beneficial for you. I've run ads from mine. I've done things like that, but really the Facebook algorithm doesn't really favor pages anymore. So yay. Let's see. Okay, catching up on the chat. Bethany, hey! Bethany says, hi, I'm Bethany. I've tuned into a few of these and they've been really helpful, so I thought I should start joining in on the chat. Bethany, hi, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And well, okay, I'm glad that you've been coming to these, but I'm really glad that you've decided to introduce yourself and really jump out and be part of our community. So hi. Bethany says, I'm working on 2 podcasts, one fiction and one nonfiction. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ooh, Peachy Writer says, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I needed a milkshake. And who could blame you? Anna's here too, says, I finished the first draft of a blog post. I love it. I love it. Yes, 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 Tim. There are lots of cool people in the chat tonight. Heck yes. Lynette, I understand this. Lynette says, I'm working on making a website, but each time I try, my stomach clenches and I want to run away. I'm not sure I'm ready for that step yet. Ooh, I kind of want to walk you through this because what is making you want to run away? Are you feeling a finality about the website? I found that a lot of people I work with on their websites, they're nervous about hitting publish, like, oh, this is a book and it's going to be published and I'll never be able to make changes to it again. So they're afraid of the finality of publishing a website when really, if you don't tell anyone about your website after you publish it, like nobody will know it's there. And well, that's why marketing is so important. But you can really kind of just make changes to it as you go. It can be a comfortable, organic exercise. But yeah, I would love to know more about, so you say I'm not ready for that step yet. What does it mean for you to be ready for that step? Very curious. Yes. Oh, and yeah, Lynette, Jimmy says, drop me a note. I made a very simple site on WordPress with a free template. It's not tough. Yeah. I use WordPress. I use Squarespace. Squarespace is a paid platform, but it also looks good and is easy to use. Yes. Yeah, we do have a lot of people tonight. It's wonderful. Yeah, Takara says I use my Facebook author page just to get my name out there and build a following. Yes, and that's what it's great for. Natasha, hey, Natasha says I'm working on some blog posts tonight. Excited when I'm able to make and take the time to join y'all. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, good, Allie, your writer showed up. I love to hear that. Oh, Lynette says I'm nervous because I have no idea what I'm doing or what people expect from an author's website. I can help you with that because, one second, and then we'll get to creating. I promise we're going to create together today. But this is sad. I have to do like a Google search for my own. Episode 33 of the Right Now podcast is called Do I Need a Website? And in it, I remember, I know it's from like years ago, but in it, I talk about why a website is good for authors and then what exactly you need to be on your author website. And spoiler alert, it can be very simple. It can just be a picture of your face or not. I mean, if you don't want to have a picture of your face, you don't have to have one. But generally, it's like a headshot and your name, something that proclaims that you're an author or a writer or whatever it is you want to call yourself. And then like, hey, you know, this website's under construction, but you can come find me at, and then you can provide links to, or a link to wherever you're most active on social media. And that is completely sufficient. completely sufficient for an author's website. Ooh, you bought Turning Pro today. I hope it arrives quickly. I hope it does too. Was really fantastic. Yes, I like this. Numberless Dream says, I have a website that I don't really tell people about. Start with that until you're ready to tell people about it. Exactly. Exactly. Like, use the fact that you're not marketing it yet to your advantage. Like, oh, nobody's going to go to my website because I'm not marketing it yet. Okay, great. Nice. Drayton, 100,000 members in your Facebook group. Yes. Good. Oh, good. This is a great tip. I welcome new members with a funny meme each day and then invite all who react to follow my author page. That's a great strategy. Yes, that is fantastic. Oh, hey, Annie. Annie's waving from afar on a family call. Did some writing earlier. Yay, stabby unicorns. Now trying to decide if they are miniature stabby unicorns. This keeps getting better and better. Thank you, Tim. It's sarahwerner.com/do I need a website, WN033. You can click on the link if you're on Twitch or painstakingly type it out if you're on Facebook. Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you. And Augie, in addition to Squarespace and Wix and WordPress, there's also Carrd, C-A-R-R-D, and that just gives you like a one-sheeter. It just gives you a one-page website. And I've heard multiple people using it. I've heard good things about it. So Sarah says, I'm feeling rather inept at the moment. None of the tech everyone is volleying sounds familiar tonight. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, and I hope if you're still here, that's okay. If you've left, Sarah, it's never my intention to make anyone feel alienated. So, yeah, if there's ever an aspect of like tech that I'm talking about, or if there's ever, I don't know, just something that, like if I talk about your WIP and you're like, well, I don't know what that is, like, please do feel free to ask. And everybody in the chat, if somebody asks a question, just, honestly, respond kindly, respond thoughtfully, keep this a positive, good community. So like WIP is work in progress. So yeah. Okay. Midori's here. Okay, Sarah, you're still here. Good. Okay. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. Tim says no judgment in here. Yeah. Oh, hi. People are saying hi to you. Yeah. All right. People are saying give her hugs. Can I give you a hug? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Please pet me, she says. Yes. The queen has arrived. Should we do some creating together? Let's do some creating together. Midori needs her own channel. What would you do on your own channel? You would just yell all day. You would just yell and yell. Her biggest skill is yelling really loud. But yeah, let's create together. If you've been to these before, you kind of know what we do. Basically, we chat like this for a little bit, and then we dive into creating. It is a create along most of the time, after all. And we'll do that until 8:30 p.m. Central. So that's about an hour. I'm going to put up our little banner here. So we'll write until that is 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Mountain, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm getting really good at time zones, even though I didn't have them tattooed like someone suggested. Yeah, during that time, I'm going to mute myself. Oh, Midori. Oh, she's like pushing on my hand for pets while I'm trying to click my mouse. 1:30 p.m. Saturday, Australia. Rebecca, you're here. Rebecca from the future is here, and I love it. All right, I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to get to work. If you have struggles, let us know in the chat. If you are feeling I know Sarah used the word inept earlier. If you're not feeling great, let us know. And we'll talk about it during the chat here, during our create along, and then also once we all come back. Jimmy, are you going to write or are you going to play Stardew Valley? You going to write? Okay, I'm not your mom. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay, I'm going to mute myself and I'll be here if you need me. And yes, oh, thank you. Davis says, don't feel the pressure to create. That's the other thing I like to talk about is if you are not in a healthy creative place tonight, if you are just angry or feeling upset or just you're feeling empty or drained, if you just need to sit here and like stare at the wall, if you need to make yourself a cup of tea, if you need to pick up a pen and just like doodle some calming circles, if you have a coloring book, if you want to knit or crochet or play some video games, please know that you're very welcome to do that. That is all welcome here in our creative community because it's necessary for us to live, especially tea. All right. Are you ready? All right, let's do this, friends. I'll be right here the whole time, and let's do this. Welcome back. If you are in the middle of writing, if you're in the middle of something, I encourage you to mute me or close out of here and finish up what you need to finish up. But if you're ready to come back, then so am I. Oh man, Pinball Princess says my audio project was about 10 seconds too short for the X-Files theme to meld with the Horn of Summoning. Oh my gosh, I love it even more now. Do, do, do. Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that. We also had a special visitor come in on Facebook. Liliana is a Right Now podcast listener who has written into the show before. And she says, this is my second time here. I was not able to comment until I could join the Facebook group through my mom's account. But she says, thank you for helping me grow as a writer, Sarah. Liliana, thank you. I love hearing from you. I love that you're here. I don't know. I'm so excited to see you. And I really welcome you to this group. And I hope that you are continuing to thrive as a young writer. So, gosh, I love that. Yes, Poxy. Poxy says, was that the magical, mystical horn of summoning I hear? Yes, it was. Good. Annie says, I made it for the last 20 minutes. Nibblings are adorable per usual. I got through a bit of world building and backstory today, figuring out how the next scene needs to go. I love it. Carmen says, I decided to reread my current story so far and some inspiration. Good. 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 Jimmy did Stardew Valley, which I was teasing earlier, and I said, like, hey, you should be writing, not playing Stardew Valley. But Jimmy already wrote 3 stories this week. And so, Jimmy, you needed to recharge, and that is exactly what you did. And I'm so happy that you did that. But Jimmy says, oh, gosh, walking back to my Stardew Valley farm, Jimmy's farm, in the quiet of the night as I heard this horn sound. I looked around trying to find out what just happened and what was in the woods with me. It's like when it rains and you hear that mysterious creature. You had the mysterious elfin horn in the woods with you. Oh, I love it. Forsaken Fallen says, I just added over 1,200 words. Yes, a first draft word vomit. Good. First drafts are first drafts. And it's okay if they are just word vomit. It's okay if you're just getting the words out, because once you get those words out, you can edit those words and make them beautiful and meaningful and part of a good story. So I love that. Good. Heck yes. Another book lover says, my character made a breakthrough on controlling his superpower and a setback. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Peachy Writer says, I was working on my NaNo project. So NaNo is short for National Novel Writing Month. It's usually NaNoWriMo. But got inspired to write something completely different. I love it. Sometimes you just have to follow those little brain tangents. You have to follow those little whims. I like that. And knowing when to follow the whims and when to like focus on the project that you need to get done, that's a topic for another day. Ooh, I feel this. Numberless Dreams said, extra distracted by Muppet-based parodies and world events, but I still managed to write over 320 words. So Numberless Dreams, that is amazing. Yes, Terry says, beginning rough drafting my second podcast script. Heck yes, you are trucking along. I love it. Lynette says, spent the time trying to figure out how to change the picture on my WordPress template. No luck. I'm just like immediately like, okay, go into the, sorry, I won't provide tech support here necessarily, but I do realize that is truly frustrating. And it depends where like all of your settings are and stuff, and like where that image lives on your websites and how comfortable you are navigating the back end of your site. But yes, that is very frustrating. Very frustrating. Good. Poxy played some Minecraft. I love it. I love it. Drayton also playing Minecraft. A very, very popular choice tonight. I love it. Yes, another book lover says all a first draft has to do is exist. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Tania says kind of excited. Okay. Tonight, I think I'm finally figuring out the why and the backstory to the premise of my magical forest story. Oh, Tania. Well, especially after our session on Wednesday, I love to see that you are still committed to working on this project, that you are still just diving in and constantly challenging yourself. Figuring out the why and the backstory is something you'll come back to over and over and over again. So I love that you're working on that. I love it. And I also love that we acknowledge when things are difficult because, contrary to popular belief, like writing is fun and writing is good, but writing is also often very challenging and very frustrating. And, we all have the option to just stop. We have the option to give up. But Tania, you returned and you returned to your work despite the frustrations. And we all return to our work despite the frustrations. And we all continue moving forward and challenging ourselves. And that is so important. That's so important. So I'm so glad that you said that. Yes, Skid says I managed to record and send off an audition for a podcast. I love it. Takara, what is your surprise? Takara, tell us your surprise. I want it. Augie says, not sure if I should add an ace romance to my post-apocalyptic story. It's very tempting. And one of them is definitely going to spoiler. So maybe it's a bad idea. Got 600 words down either way. Good. Good. 600 words is a lot. That's a lot. I love it. Oh, good. Good, good, good. Tim's going to play Scrap Mechanic tonight, which is kind of like Minecraft. Yes. Oh, and apparently there's a Minecraft update that I have no idea about. That's okay. It's okay. If you were only able to finish a page of your story, yes, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. Even if you were only able to write a sentence tonight, that is one more sentence, that is one more step forward, and I love it. I've gotten to page 84, not very much in the grand scheme of things, but I think I am proud of what I've gotten done so far. Good. We are too. We are too. Page 84 is legit. That's awesome. I'm so, gosh, all of you are just so inspiring. What even is this? Okay, so Drayton says a few years ago, I made an epic Minecraft creation. So search ankle sneeze Jerusalem in 30 AD. I don't even know. So I also don't play Minecraft, but I encourage you to search that. And also one day Drayton, I saw you pop up in our writers Discord as ankle sneeze. And I was like, what even is? So yeah, let's see. Marissa says, I wrote 500 words in my novel tonight. I love it. I also decided to change my main character's name. I don't always love change, but this one is perfect. Isn't it interesting how like even a small change like that can make a huge difference? Maybe not even just in the story, but in how we think about the story and how we perceive the story and how we get motivated to move forward in our story. It's always just fascinating what small changes can do mindset wise. Like that is wonderful. So thank you for sharing that, Marissa. Yes, not at all comfortable, but also not afraid to poke around in it. Yeah. I'm really good friends with, I have a friend here in town who owns a marketing agency, and their claim to fame is sort of that they just do things very differently. And when you walk into their office, hanging from the ceiling is an upside down chair. And it's a big pink chair, and it's hanging upside down from the ceiling. And their motto there is, come on in and make yourself uncomfortable. And I love that more than anything. I love that so much. So Lynette, I love that. Not at all comfortable, but not afraid. Yes. Yeah. So much writing is uncomfortable. And I was actually thinking about this. I journaled like 3 pages. And yes, I was using sparkly heart stickers. Aren't they cute? They have I don't know if you can see in the light, but they're glittery pink heart stickers because I love stickers. And I was journaling about, I've been reading So Good They Can't Ignore You. And in it, Cal Newport talks about the difference between someone who's good at something and someone who is an expert at something is that the expert never stops challenging themselves. The expert, even when they get to a place where they're comfortable, they'll challenge themselves a little bit more. And that's why they become so good. And so, Lynette, that attitude is beautiful, and I commend you for it. That will keep you going so far. I love it. Good. Tania says, I keep trying. Good. That's what I want. I love it. Let's see. Yes, 1 page equals 250 words. That's my goal for the day. Yeah, it's so funny you say that because my daily page goal is 2 pages for Girl in Space, and that comes out to about 500 words for me. So that's, yeah, totally. Good. Stephanie says, I wouldn't have written the article tonight without all you wonderful people. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here. I say this every time that we get together, but you coming here is you investing in yourself as a creator, as an artist, as a writer, as even a person who is looking to become a professional. You're investing in your craft, and that is so important. Kathy says first draft should be destroyed after they've served their purpose. Why take a chance that someone will actually read them after you're dead? I keep all my old rough drafts, and now I'm totally terrified that like I'm gonna get hit by a bus tomorrow, and then somebody's gonna read like, oh, But at the same time, like I like to keep my rough drafts, like just in case there's ever like a copyright claim or something, and I could be like, hey, I wrote this back in 2006 and it's dated, and like I have proof that like I came up with this idea, and here's like old iterations of me figuring out the idea. So I don't know, maybe that's paranoid of me. Maybe I'm a hoarder. I don't know. Rebecca says, I was stuck for a while, but got some words for my weekly flash fiction piece down. Good, good. Are you friends with Jimmy, who is also in this group? I would be curious to know because you both are flash fiction writers, and that is amazing. Yes. Okay. Yes. Good. We have other fans of stickers. I love it. Stickers. Okay. Takara, here's Takara's surprise. You ready? Takara says, in the last chapter, I killed off my main character, but she is still narrating my story. I love it. Are you gonna explain like how is she still narrating the story? Like, is she a ghost? Has she like ascended to another plane? Or is she one of the superheroes who's going to be in your next novel? I am very excited about this. Thank you for sharing that with us, Takara. That is so fun. Oh, I love Outliers. Augie says, I've been reading Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's a really cool look into what actually makes someone successful. Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? And I think is it an Outliers or is it in the Tipping Point where he talks about that 10,000 hour rule, where like that's how you get really good at something is you invest your time and your energy and your dedication into something for 10,000 hours. Boy, I could talk about it forever because it's so fascinating to me, but I think it comes out to 10 years, I think 10 years like of reasonable practice and dedication. And that makes a lot of sense to me. 10 years is a good, healthy amount of time to hone your craft and get really good at something and feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing. Yeah, sorry, I was like, How long have I been writing seriously? But, you know. So yes, these are fantastic. These are fantastic. Let's see. Yes, Terry, I appreciate this too. Terry says, I'd want someone to find my first drafts. It might inspire them. Let them know you need to get comfortable writing crap before you write well. Yes. Yeah, if anyone ever finds my old drafts of Girl in Space, like there's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of trial and error. There is a lot of just questionable plotting. You can ask my partner, Tim, who has read these other drafts. And in fact, I won't go into any spoilers or anything, but like, oh gosh, the original first episode for season 2 that I had written, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I had these things happening for like no reason. Tim, I'm surprised that you even still respect me as a writer after reading all of my terrible drafts. But you know, you have to get that stuff out. You have to continue practicing your craft, you know, if you're going to get good. Yes. Oh, I love this. The Peachy Writer says, I still have a short story I wrote in 3rd grade. That's hoarding. I love that. I love that. You know, my mom was like a chronic like throwawayer. So I think that like all of my childhood creations have been purged. And I'm kind of happy about that because they were weird. They were weird. Like I was a weird kid who made weird things. So just so you don't think I'm like obsessed with like murder and death and blood, it's probably good that maybe that's why my mom threw them away. Maybe she was like, okay, Sarah. Good job, kiddo. Jimmy says, I don't write bad rough drafts on paper, at least. I turn a story over hard in my head, and so that when I write it down, it's solid. Then I retype and or edit for typos and flow. I read it out loud for that, and off it goes. Yeah, there's so many different ways to draft. There's so many different ways to just work with a story like it's clay. And like, Jimmy, you write very, very quick fiction. And so I can just see you forming that in your head and getting it just right and then putting it down on paper. So you do your first draft in your head. Yes. Oh, that is Outliers. Okay, good, good. Yeah, that is a fantastic book. Gosh, so many books are fantastic books, though. So many books are fantastic. Yep, going through your old boxes and found so many horrible things I wrote in middle school and high school. So horrible. Yeah. Yeah. But you needed to write them so that you could become the person you are now. And you need to write the, you know, terrible rough drafts where you are now so that you can become the writer you're going to become in 10 years. Like, and oh my gosh, there's a really nice meme of like a very good dog sitting in front of an easel. And on the easel, it says, don't be embarrassed of things you created in the past. It shows that you have improved since then and you've become even better at what you do. So like, don't be embarrassed about your old stuff. So I appreciate that. Let's see, I once wrote the first draft of a novel up till about 60 pages and then realized it wasn't working at all. I still have it and look at it once in a while to make myself laugh or feel embarrassed. No, don't do that. Look at it and say, I have grown since then. I've grown since then. And I'm proud of my growth. Yes. Ooh, let's see. Oh boy. Okay, yes. Oh, thank you. Sarah says, I see more energetic. Hope I keep feeling better. I do feel better. Like even just being with this group, I don't know, you give me energy. I love that you're here. I love that. I also had like a really good journaling session and I was like working out some things about clarity and loving what we do and how we get there. And I'm just feeling like really, really happy and really inspired and just really proud of all of you for being so brave to write and to share your stories. Like, of all people, like, I know writing is hard and challenging, and just the fact that you keep showing up and doing it over and over again says so much. So Jimmy says, that's not a brag, I swear. I took a while to figure out how to make a rough process that actually works for me, and turns out horrible first drafts make me very critical, so I figured out how to not do them. I love that. You have to find the system that works for you. Jimmy, I love that that works for you. I love it. And so, like, what works for me is handwriting. Like, I don't think there's any spoilers on this, but like, so for me, for Girl in Space, just dropping pens, don't worry about me. I handwrite, so here's my handwritten draft, and then I type it out, and then I write all over the typed out draft. And then, so it's just constant, like, that's just my process, and that works for me, and that allows me to have, again, not to brag, but like the best ideas that I am capable of having just because of that formulating process. So yes. Lynette says, the very first thing I wrote and let anyone see is on fanfiction.net. I've thought of taking it down because it inspired my series I'm writing, but I also want to keep it there to remind me how far I've come. Yes. And if people buy my books, I want them to see how I started and hopefully inspire them to try if they want to write. I love that, Lynette. I love that. There was not to like bring up anything terrible, but there was just this not great person on Twitter the other day who was saying that like fan fiction was not a legitimate form of writing. And I was just like, no, no. Like, Shakespeare wrote fan fiction. Like, that's what his histories were. They're fan fiction. Like, anyway, sorry, we're not going down that road. But Lynette, I love that. Yes, and you should keep that. Let's see. Yes, I like this. I want this on a t-shirt. Murder and death and blood are good for you. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh, I love this. Yes. Dante's Inferno is fan fiction. So is Paradise Lost. Like, I mean, yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, Jimmy says, you have to do what you do so you can be what you are. I love that. That's amazing. Ooh. And there's folks talking about like editing and the writing process, and Steph recommends Intuitive Editing by Tiffany Yates Martin, a must read from my perspective. I've never heard of it, and now I'm excited to check it out. Ooh, yes, first steps are always wobbly, but they're necessary. I mean, if you put a newborn baby down on the floor and it just like runs out of the room, like, well, that's like a miracle baby. But like, you know, you need to, even before like, oh, you need to walk so you can run, you need to walk terribly before you walk well. Like, it's just how we develop. So I appreciate that. Oh, hey, Anne. Oh, good. You had a good phone call with friends. That's awesome. Sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you just need that to catch up. Yes. Oh, good. The Peachy Writer says, as someone who's only recently dived deeply into the world of writing, I get excited for these create-alongs. They're entertaining and educational. Oh, thank you. Oh, Jimmy says, on the other hand, I've written a bunch of absolute hot garbage in my younger days, and I even quit writing for decades because I sucked and I couldn't get past that horrible first draft thing in my head. Yes, and there's like a gap, right? When we start writing, there's like where we are and where we want to be, and there is a huge gap, like a huge gap, and that gap can only be bridged by practice and experience, which we can only get by pushing through the discomfort. So, oh, I totally get that. Yes. Yeah, no murdering. Yeah, fan fiction is where many great writers gain their skills, and it's the highest form of flattery. Yes, the day someone writes a piece based off of my story, I will feel complete as an author. I love that. Yeah, fan fiction being legitimate is the hill I will die on. like that's where I started too. Like I didn't know I was doing it at the time, but like I remember I would get like Boxcar Children books. I don't know if anybody remembers those Boxcar Children, and there was another series that I really loved, but I would read a Boxcar Children book, and then I would like sit down and start writing more adventures for the Boxcar Children. And like, it was me as a child, like figuring out, oh, what makes each of these characters a character, and like, oh, okay, I need to like have something for them to do. So it was when you're writing fan fiction, you're digesting what makes a story work. And I could go on this for hours, but it's a really great study. It's like diagramming sentences, but you're like, I don't know. I could talk about this all day, but I won't. Tania, also a handwriter. Oh, you're using an inkwell and a dip pen. How fun is that? I bet that's really fulfilling too. Like, but do you get speckles of ink everywhere? And does it like smear against the side of your hand? These are the big questions. Tim says my first attempt at a novel was Zelda fanfic. Yeah. Yes. Yes, E.L. James, who made roughly a bazillion dollars starting with fan fiction. Yeah. Absolutely. Animorphs. Oh, I loved the Animorphs. Oh my gosh. Goosebumps and Choose Your Own Adventures. Yes. Oh, love the Boxcar Children. Yes. Oh, Nancy Drew. Oh my gosh. Babysitter's Club. One of the most disappointing experiences in my life as a writer and reader. We drove so I grew up in Cleveland, and like we drove like 3 hours. So there was like this library that had Anne M. Martin doing a book signing. And this was also my very first experience with a parasocial relationship, because like, I don't know how old I was. I was like, how old are you when you read Babysitter's Club? Like 4th grade, 5th grade? I don't know. But it like came out I was like the exact demographic for it. And I like went up to the table and I was like, I love your books. And my expectation was that she would say, oh my gosh, Sarah, I know so much. Like I had these like weird expectations that like we were going to become best friends, but all she did was like sign my book. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of love here for, yes, Boxcar Children. Yes. Yes. Gosh. Yeah, Nancy Drew. Oh, Fear Street. Was that Christopher Pike? Oh my gosh. Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy says, confession time. My first attempt at a novel involved 50 handwritten pages of a committee meeting. Think the Council of Elrond, but with more debates and procedural objections. I was 20 and I wanted to write a new Darwith trilogy. My modern protagonist in this fantasy world tried to bring order to the debate. You don't blame yourself for what young Jimmy wrote. Like, he was trying his best and he was writing what he wanted to write, presumably. Gosh. Oh, I love all of these. Sorry, I'm like looking through. Oh, Steph, go to sleep. Steph has to get up in 6 hours. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, Sarah says at 14, I got ticked off at how dumb the Charlie's Angels episodes were, and I rewrote them all to suit myself. Yes. Good. Yeah, empower them. She did not yell next, thankfully. I think they were very gentle and encouraging, because it was like a bunch of like 8 or 9-year-old girls. But oh gosh. Ooh, Rebecca says, how does everyone create endings to large pieces? I can't visualize how all the separate threads will come together, or even how I want it to go. Oh, what a question. I don't have an answer for you. Other than diagramming it out might help, but also So for me, finishing was like a big mindset thing. So I don't know if you've read Finish by Jon Acuff. This helped me finish season 1 of Girl in Space. I highly recommend it. I keep it here next to me on my little side table. Also, I don't know if you guys remember these. My sister sent me some gel pens, which are on top of my Finish book. But yeah, if anyone has some good advice for Rebecca, I'm terrible at finishing things, and I'm just going to admit that. I think for me, I needed to create a list of loose ends that had yet to be tied up, and then I made sure that each one of them was accounted for. And to do that, I had to like go back and like chart out all of the loose ends because I pantsed it. I didn't outline my novel or I didn't outline season 1 of Girl in Space. I like pantsed it. I wrote it by the seat of my pants with no plan and just wrote it. And so I had to go back near the end and say, what do I still need to resolve? Like what conflicts are outstanding? I should probably talk about this. And, I should mention this. And so that's how I did it. And I wouldn't recommend that way of doing it. And I'm sure there's people in here who can give you a lot better advice than I can. Oh, I'll see you Wednesday. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Yes. Oh gosh, yes. Babysitters Club rocks. Nancy Drew. They like redid them later, like because they were the ones from like the 50s, and then they like rewrote them in the 70s, and then there was like the case files, and there was just this like never-ending treasure trove of Nancy Drew to read, which I love. Trixie Belden. Oh, and Bobbsey Twins. Oh my gosh, we had those too. I love this. Let's see, Rebecca, Tim says, I add foreshadowing later if I find a good place that fits in a later draft. Yes, that is the hardest part. Yes, Finish by Jon Acuff. Okay, 3 investigators. My siblings were talking about the 3 investigators on our siblings. So I text all day with I have 3 sibs. I have 2 sisters and a brother, and they're all younger than me. And they were all talking about the 3 investigators like 2 days ago. And I was like, I read a lot of books growing up. I have no memory of anything called the 3 investigators. So seeing you type that here is very weird. Apparently, I missed this chapter of life. Gel pens and stickers, like sometimes I have trouble with motivation. I know I shouldn't. We should all love what we do, but sometimes I sit down and I'm like, and then in order to motivate myself, I get out my stickers and I make what I'm making pretty. Ooh, this is a good one. Depends on how your character needs to change. Yes. Finishing out that character arc, making sure that they change in the way that you want them to. Yes. Augie says I'm pantsing right now and the story just ends itself, I hope. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I got a notice here. The 2-hour mark is among us. I'm still disturbed at why I can't remember who the 3 investigators are. Okay, thank you. Lynette is validating me for not knowing the 3 investigators. It's like, but everybody else seems deeply familiar with them. And they're people who like, because like in my family, when we checked out books from the library, like we all read each other's books. And so like, I would check out like Boxcar Children or Babysitter's Club or Animorphs and give those to my brother who was reading like The Once and Future King. And like, then he would give me The Once and Future King and we would swap, and we'd swap with Rachel, my other sister, who was reading. Anyway. So like, how did I never get a 3 investigator book? I don't know. Okay. Very valid. Thank you. This is making me feel like all these people have never heard of the 3 investigators. Another book lover says, I sometimes have the ending in mind when I start and I write towards it, taking detours as I want. Other times the ending comes to me about halfway through. Yes. Yeah, it must be an age gap thing for the 3 investigators. So, okay. We've hit the 2-hour mark, and I'm recovering from some very exciting sinus adventures. So I'm going to go lay down, and I want you all to remember that you're amazing. And I want to thank you for coming here tonight. I want to thank you for being kind to yourself. I want to thank you for setting aside the time to devote to your craft. I want to commend you for your dedication to it, and for the fact that even when it gets challenging and difficult and frustrating, you're not giving up. And I love that. We've all got our 10,000 hours to put in. And that starts today. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Good night, everyone. You're all fantastic and amazing. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, sorry. There's a lot of nice comments coming in, but take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Eat some vegetables. Is that really going to be my parting advice tonight, is eat some vegetables? But, maybe it will eat some vegetables. I've been sick. Yes, eat cookies. Okay, yes. Drain says eat cookies. Oh, I like this too. Eat veggies, drink water, go rest, thrive. All so good. You're all so good. Okay, I will see you. Today's Friday, apparently. So I will see you on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. And in the meantime, join us over on Discord. We'll keep the conversation going. Oh, yes. And for those of you in the Australian future, it's Saturday. So enjoy your beautiful Saturday. Okay. You're all fantastic. And I will see you next week.